Hey, this is Dorkmeister the Third, also known as Gelly, here to give you a primer on how to handle way too many computers. Um, so I'm currently working on increasing my PPS div from 600 gold droplets to 1200 gold droplets. I don't anticipate meeting that marker because there's a lot of people who have gold droplets, but I'm doing my best. I'm currently bringing it up to 1,000 just as a demonstration, but I do have to do some filtering. So what does this look like when you get to the meat of it, right? So my naming convention at the moment, I started with Prunk because it's funny. I don't know. And then I picked Alpha through Omega. I ripped through that and I managed to get 609 gold from doing that. And so now I'm going through the Latin alphabet. So I just need Prunk G and Prunk H. Should be an easy process. Because I don't have to change the venue for these, or because I don't want to change the venue for these, if I were to look at my Primegrid venue for the default settings, it would be for these droplets, and then all of my other actual computers are set up for not so default. So let's add a couple more of these and then start that up. Cool. I know I have this much room because I did the calculations. At the moment, if I check Primegrid up, I have 2 hours and not 2 hours. I've got 52 hours to go. 52 times 0.0232, which is the cost per hour, means that each instance is going to cost about $1.2 from here on out. And then I multiply that by my current number, which is 609, and I have 734. If I check my account balance at the moment, an hour ticked over about 7 minutes ago because it's 3:07. I have $1,178. So with that knowledge, I could basically say, 1178 minus this, and okay, I have an extra $400. I feel like I could probably stretch that. If I make, this equal to X and shove this into Wolfram Alpha. I could have also just done the division, but I'm lazy. So that's equal to about 1,000 that I can stretch it to at the moment. But I want to get it to 1,200 because I'm sort of PO'd that someone who's done less work than me has 2 primes and I have 0. I don't know. I always get really weird about this. But I've decided to increase my output from smashing the competition to obliterating the competition. So, all right. Now I've waited enough time for some of the computers to get assigned. Last time there was a PPS div competition, DO was like on its last legs. And so it had a lot of time that it wasn't doing the calculations for, but this time we should be good. Because I've added 400 computers, we can actually tell the calculations. I knew ahead of time that I had 609 golds, so let's go take a look at the computers. So how do you filter this out based on what's working and what's not? The way that I've figured out is best is because of my naming convention, I can look up how many computers I have plus PP5, which is just a thing that I keep for myself. And I have 1,008, which makes sense. I think, yeah, I would have 1,009 with PP5. So I did add 400 computers, and everything's good to go there. So how do I separate the golds from the not golds? As it turns out, something that's in the works of processing doesn't have a format that looks like this. So if you do R gold, this tells me I have 735 golds, which that's not bad. I don't think. We'll see though. So 735. We'll just toss this in here. 735 minus 609. We get 126. So we picked up 126 out of those 400 for about 25%. That's not bad. That's pretty rough. That means I'm going to have to go through like probably this alphabet and then like the NATO alphabet in order to get all the golds that I want, but we'll see. Now, just to make sure that we aren't getting scuffed on the thing, we're going to expect 274 of the not gold, which you can check with our CPU. And there's only 77 of them, which means that some of these haven't processed. And in fact, instead of having a 25% ratio of golds to not golds, then that means that there are a bunch that are running, but they look like this, or similar. So you can look up or similar to find out what things are in the process, and it's 197 of them. So that's actually pretty good. That's actually really promising. I was actually expecting not to get like 66%-ish from like golds to not golds, because now we have to go through the step of probably the best part of working with this, which is doing our CPU. I'm a bad boy. All right. And then running through all of these and selecting them. And this is what I do for literally hours in order to get this many droplets. Is I will set these up. I'll wait about 15 minutes for things to settle out. As you can see, I've waited only like 5 minutes for some things to settle out, and now I'm going to pay the price for it because I'm going to have to do another filtering step in order to get all of these 400 settled out. But yeah, this is how I do it. These are the little tricks that I figured out the last time I did PPS Div challenges for the absurd amount of droplets. I could imagine that this exact thing should work for other challenges. I don't exactly know the benefits of using gold for other challenges. I know that PPS Div benefits a lot from AVX 512, which is why you want gold instead of E5s. But it might be that other things like PPSE or like SGS don't really care about golds. I might be wrong in that regard. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I don't know things. I just have a disgusting amount of money and determination at times. But this is the fun part. If you're not going through this thinking, oh my god, I love everything about this, I love the fact that you have to check boxes and scroll down and everything, then you're not a real Primegrid gamer. Sorry. Anyways, there's only 700 and, no, there's only 700. Good lord. There's only 77 that I have to process through here. And then we'll be done with at least the demonstratable filter stuff. So yeah, you can see a lot when I'm scrolling through here. There's a lot of or similars. That's because, I mean, it literally is a queue. Prunc A goes before Prunc B, goes before Prunc C. And so down here, a lot of these things just haven't simply been processed yet. So yeah, I don't know if this will ever be useful. I don't know if I'll even ever show people this, but I do want to have some sort of living record of what it's like to be a gangster. Oh wow, yeah, none of these got processed. I am impatient. Let's make sure, the last thing that I like to do is I like to scroll down to 77 and make sure that's checked off. All right, so now we scroll all the way to the bottom. We shut these down immediately because I don't care about the work that's being done by E5s. That'll get aborted or reabsorbed into the system eventually, so it's no problem. And yeah, so that's how I do it. Now at this point, I'm probably going to, again, check for the or similars. Right? I've got 8 of those left. Okay. So I can check my R golds and see how many or R golds proper that I have. 856. That's really good. That's like better than half. In terms of golds to CPUs. But once I get the processing all done with that, I'll have about 850 golds instead of the 600 golds that I had before. So I'm probably going to add a bunch more droplets and then squeeze it down. I never overshoot because, again, if I had thought my standard ratio, which is I usually expect 1 gold to 2 E5s, if I had done that, then I would have been left with a lot of gold droplets and I would have felt bad about wasting them, and then I would be losing a lot more money. Because I don't know how to let go. So I usually just undershoot and do it incrementally until I only overshoot by a little bit. So yeah, here is my living horrible record. And that's why I can do this. Because I choose to use all of my time and or income on this. Anyways, I hope this is useful. Or nah, this isn't useful. I'm sorry.